So right now, I'm about to take my fuel rails out. You can start by using, you need a Torx bit 30. Torx bit 30 to take loosen up these two torque bits in the decorative cover or the valve cover. I've already loosened it up just to save time, but it's two Torx bit 30 plus, and there's two bolts, two studs in here, Torx bit 30. Two of those. And before you do that, you're gonna need to take your special tool to relieve the fuel line here up top. I've already loosened it, as you can see, but it's just a special tool. You can pick up any hardware store, and that relieve those little jaws inside of here. You put it inside around the pipe, and then you push in, and it'll relieve those jaws inside there for you to be able to slide that off. And I think this is a 3/8. So we got rid of the cover. Okay. Next, you need to do the same thing below. Take your tool. Before you do that, there's a 10mm bolt here that holds this fuel line to the valve cover gasket. 10mm bolt. Loosen that up. Take your special tool. Put it on the end of the hose. Push in. Boom. It's gonna be a little fuel that comes out. And boom, you got that right on off. See that? 10mm bolt. Use your special tool, 3/8. Put it on the inside, push in. It's gonna relieve those jaws and pull out, and it'll come right off. All right. So now we have the high pressure fuel lines. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 17 millimeter. Then you got a 10mm there in the center. So I guess I'll do the 10mm in the center first. Got that off. 17. Now I've heard some people say you're supposed to replace these, but you really don't have to. But you know, the manufacturer recommends that you replace them. GM recommends that you replace these. They're not supposed to be reusable, but yeah. Now there is gas in these lines, so you will have some gas seep out. But we ain't worried about that. Just don't light no cigarettes while you doing this job. Well, this part of the job anyway. Smoking some of them trees. And what I like to do is, so I don't get too, bolts on them, I put the bolt right back where I took it out from. And then I got the lines. There it is. Lines right out. That's easy. And now it's a 17. Now I can focus on the fuel rails. I've already disconnected. You got two connectors that feed the fuel rail. I've already loosened those. Just the red tab, pull out on the tab far as it goes, and then push down on the center to relieve those two tabs, one here and one there. Now you shouldn't have to disconnect the fuel injectors because they should all come out along with the fuel rail. So that looks like a 15. Let's see if I got 15 up here. I don't think I do. Oh, nope. I got one. And I stand corrected, that's a 13. 13mm. 13mm, guys. Let's see if I can get this out. I might have to get my See if I can get this out. Motherfuckers in there, man. I'm gonna have to work with it. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, goddammit. Motherfucker fucking with me. So when you go to take them fuel rails out, make sure, like this, my engine probably hadn't been worked on since it left the line, left the assembly line. So the injectors probably might be down in there pretty good. So I like to use a little PB blaster. I shoot down in the hose, let that sit for a few minutes. Then I just take a pry bar and lightly lift up around the bolt area there. You should not try to get, rest your pry bar against your intake, where the intake gasket sits. You don't want to scar anything up. Maybe put some type of a cloth or something there to protect that. But this is gonna be your best friend. Shoot some of this down in those injector holes. Wait a few minutes. Use that pry bar and boom, pop right out. Bam. Now as you can see, the little rings them came off, so they still down in there. But once again, this thing probably been in there since 2016. I got a 2016, so probably still in the originals, from day one. So pretty much just do the other side, and you have your fuel rail out, both your fuel rails and fuel lines, and then I'll be doing the high pressure pump here in a second here. All right, guys, as you can see, all my fuel rails, injectors, and all that's out. Just take your time and work it out. It will be a little resistance because once again, no telling how long those have been in. So I sprayed a little WD PB blast or WD-40 down in the injector hose and let it sit for a few minutes, and I was able to just rock it back and forth, and eventually they came out. So now I'm getting ready to remove the fuel pump, high pressure fuel pump, just here. I'm gonna do that by alternating from left to right, taking these out. And that looks like a 15, maybe even 13. Yeah, it's a 13. 13. Should do it. And it's out. So don't forget your little gasket there. But it's out. All right, guys. So I've removed the high pressure fuel pump. Then it's just a matter of disconnecting these two connectors. Let me put this light back on. Get a little bit better light. These two connectors right here, 1, 2 connectors. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 13mm bolts. And then we should be able to remove our plate where, the magic of the DOD happens. So let me get my little tool here, my 13mm in my Milwaukee tool, and remove these clips, and we'll have at it. So let me see if I can do this with one hand. These clips be a motherfucker though. So take your time, because they probably ain't been loose, so just pull back on the red tab, and then just push down on it and then pull out. Same with this, a little white tab on this one, pull back and then push down and then pull out. And of course, I probably already freed it up a little bit. I shot it with a little bit of PB blaster yesterday to loosen them things up, because they a motherfucker, boy. Excuse my French. Then just a matter of your 13. All right, guys. So I need to make a correction. It's 9 bolts. I think I said 8, but it's really 9. So it's 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 bolts. Take them 9 out. Then you should be able to lift it on up. And bam. There go all that DOD bullshit. We about to get rid of all that, so we ain't got to worry about that. Stay tuned, baby. We gonna get it going. We gonna get it going.